We had to suspend two of our member associations, Kenya and Zimbabwe, both for government interference in the activities of the football association. So these associations are suspended from all footballing activities with immediate effect. And they know what needs to be done for them to be readmitted or for the suspension to be lifted.
All right, that is one of the stories that was still people are mulling over, trying to find out what next, what we do, what gives, who is wrong, who's right, what's the accusation, what's the stand. A lot of questions after that statement. But as it stands, Hatuko, remember when it first happened, they're like, suspend us, ban us. People were saying, it's okay, let's do it. Well, now it's happened, so we want to see what next. Of course, to help us with that conversation, we have Mukami Wambora, VP.
Good, I'm okay.
Yeah?
I'm doing well.
Mambo iko sawa?
Mambo iko sawa.
Yeah.
Celebrated my birthday yesterday.
Happy birthday!
Yeah. I will not comment on the age.
Okay. Okay, very good.
But at least I know.
You are aware?
Yes.
You have been briefed?
Yes.
Very good. Stephen Shitera, who is, he says he's a happy man despite...
The loss. Yeah, I'm happy.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm happy because we scored 3 goals that were ruled offside. So why should I? Yeah. So, and Kepa made me more happier. Yeah.
By what? Scoring a try instead of a goal. Aka convert, eh?
Yeah.
He converted.
Yeah, Kepa will always be Kepa.
All right, we also have Arocho Fred akiwa Eldoret. You come on and pata.
Did KCB play?
Fred, can you hear me?
Yeah, no, well, guys, let's stick to real issues. First and foremost, happy birthday. Happy birthday, the birthday girl, that is Wambora. I had something for her for the Valentine, but she could not make it. She was away. And Shitera, of course. My should I use condolences or should I say I'm sorry that you lost the match? Well, I'm in the land and the city of champions. I really enjoyed my weekend. I was with the two-time Olympic champion, Olympic gold medalist Ezekiel Kemboi Cheboy. Amenitembeza ndani ya Eldoret. Kongoi missing, niko sawa.
Very good. Later on, we'll be joined by Simon Gige to talk to us about golf. Kama uko na maswali, zile andapa handicap, hizo vitu zote. Atatuambia vile inafaa kuwa, si ndio? All right. But first of all, I want to start there. We want to start with the ban Mukami, and of course they've been circulars thrown left, right, and center, Kenya arguing its case, saying, you know, sisi tuko sawa. In fact, it is you, FIFA, who hamuka as fluid and you're a bit rigid, but we are open to negotiate. What do you think of it all?
Well, I think it was something we all saw coming. In fact, the fact that it's taken this long is what surprised a lot of us. I think maybe there were negotiations happening or, you know, some sort of discussions before the decision was made. I think FIFA is trying to be very lenient on us because, as you've heard, it was a suspension and not a ban. You know, looking at the statement that FIFA issued, I think Shitera can, you know, take us through some of the things that they said. It's just what we expected. No transfers, you know, no international competitions. So even if the Starlets played against Uganda, that's why there was no urgency to push that match. Because even if they played, it would have been null and void. Maybe they would have even been... It would have been worse because they might have gotten through and been named in the African Cup of Nations and then still had to not play the under-17 teams, because it's these youth teams that are doing quite well in terms of football in Kenya. You know, the way the transfer window was handled here in Kenya, the FKF transfer window shambles. No names are being transferred to the registry of FIFA. So I think there was that sense of it's going to happen, whether or not it was just a matter of time. What I can say I'm happy about is some transfers went through before the ban was effected, you know. So I'm just speaking from the perspective of the Vihiga Queens, you know, the goalkeeper Lillian had a chance to move to France before that ban, the suspension was effected. So I think for me what was most crucial was, or what was I think the bigger twist in the cog was Siasa Amina's reaction.
Right.
Yeah.
And she had a lot to say. It was a stinging, scathing, you know, even saying FIFA ndo
Hardline response.
FIFA ndo inacheza michezo. Na sisi, what do you think about what was her rebuttal and what she had to say?
I think I want to be clear that as it has been, I will say that no one is right and no one is wrong. Because FIFA has its own rules and regulations, they applied. And Kenya as a government has its own rules because, remember, FKF is a federation or an association in Kenya. And it has to abide by the laws of the land.
And I mean, you're saying that we followed the legal process.
Process. And at the same time, remember the government is an investor in sports. The government really gives a lot of resources to our national teams, be it athletics, be it football, be it volleyball. So you have to account for it. And you will realize that the whole back and forth between the Ministry of Sports and FKF began when we qualified for the Africa Cup of Nations. The government really facilitated that event from the training in France to the tournament in Egypt. And according to the Ministry of Sports, there was no accountability. No report was brought to account for the money that was given to the federation. And when the ministry asked, then that is where it all started. 2 years later, no response, no reports, and it had to crack the whip. And in my view, I will support the ministry because if I give you 5,000 shillings to buy a jacket,
it's a bit more expensive, but yeah.
Okay, we put it at let's say 50,000.
Thank you very much.
Let's say 50,000. If I gave you 50,000 shillings to buy a jacket,
yes,
and then you fail to bring me a receipt,
right?
We'll assume that probably you bought it at 25,000 and pocketed the 25,000. So really, we really need to be transparent and very honest with what we do. And I said this while we were discussing with Rashid Abdallah. The football administrators wanaumiza mpira wetu because now the question is between CS Amina Mohamed, FKF President Nick Mwendwa, and FIFA. Where is our young
and
talent?
Barry, who was also mentioned in the...
And Barry, who...
Because according to FIFA, they said they are waiting... They've not mentioned Nick Mwendwa. They're saying they're waiting for Madame Doris.
Yes.
Yeah, because Nick Mwendwa
officially handed over.
He resigned. And I agree that is where Ambassador Amina Mohamed should have started from because she should have started engaging the Vice President to at least find a way out and get to normalization because it will act as a transition. Remember this same FKF, Barry had been banned by CAF before, right? The federation has an issue with FIFA regarding to the OB vans. You remember, we spent money. So even at the FIFA level, at CAF level, we are still having some issues. So Madam Amina Mohamed is right that we need accountability. Where is the accountability for the OB vans? We really need to know what transpired between CAF and the Secretary General. Right. So those are the issues that we must be kept, they must be kept on the table so that we know there is a problem. And indeed, FIFA acknowledges there is a problem. CAF will acknowledge there is a problem. And by suspending the match between Kenya and Uganda, I believe this is something that was discussed in Cameroon because Infantino was in Cameroon, Mosepe was in Cameroon, the CAF president, and probably that is where the communication came that indeed Kenya will be banned, and there is no reason for them. Okay, suspended. It is indefinite.
Yeah.
It is an indefinite suspension, which I believe is something good for us, Mukami. It can even be lifted tomorrow. And remember, in the politics of FIFA, where elections are conducted, a Kenyan vote is important. So that is why you are seeing the leniency that you really need to do what we have advised you to do. There was a communication between FIFA and CS Amina Mohamed, but the second communication failed to happen. The second meeting failed to happen. So I think that is where the suspension came. Let me not use the word ban.
Yeah. Very good, yeah.
Yeah, and I think, you know, we do have to mention what's happening in Ukraine with Russia invading them, and FIFA actually taking a stance with that and saying, you know, no games will be played in Russia. And we already know FIFA ordinarily don't try and engage in anything political. We've seen them in the past. Even in Russia, I remember the Switzerland game, there was a sign that Xhaka used that was inflammatory, and he was given a ban. So you're saying something like this is forcing FIFA to act in a political way, which is against their rules. So they can't now also, they're setting a precedent they're unaware of. So now they can't say governments can't interfere when they're in that process of, you know, the other teams who are playing Russia in the World Cup now saying we don't want to play them and all that. So it's really bringing in an interesting element of, why won't you listen to the country? Why won't you listen to the lawmakers of that country and the decisions that they're making and then move from there? So it's a bit dicey, but I still think it's the right call.
It's the right thing to do.
Actually, I was saying they really need to review their laws, because these laws are archaic. Remember, it's not the first time Kenya is getting suspended. We were suspended in 2004 under Waziri Maina Kamanda. We were suspended again in 2006 under Najib Balala, and the same process. So two things. These FIFA laws should be reviewed, number one. Number two, I think the football administrators that we put in never learn, because we are finding ourselves in the same problems. Number three, fans were agitated and said that give it to us, the ban, we don't care, because even if you ban us from the international matches, which international matches do we play and succeed?
Or go to.
Yeah.
Anyway, Arocho, what do you think about the whole back and forth, the arguments, counter arguments between that, and also the fact that Amina in her statement said FIFA munapatia watu pesa lakini hatujui jinsi inavyotumika. Yeah.
Well, first and foremost, I think we must understand that it is not a ban. It is a suspension. The difference between a ban and a suspension is that as a ban is definite. For example, when you're given a 2-year ban, it's definite that you will come back to the FIFA family after 2 years, unless otherwise reviewed in the course of the 2 years. But in a suspension, is more or less being put on the bench. Basically, Kenya can come back anytime. As you could hear the FIFA boss, as he was finishing his statement, he said that Kenya knows exactly what they need to do. So basically, if we can do what they want us to do, then we'll be back in business. But let me proceed on Amina's statement. I liked her statement because it was diplomatic. Unlike her counterpart in Zimbabwe, who was a bit abrasive in the response from what happened in FIFA. I like the fact that Amina gave the history, the reason. She, in her opening remarks, she indicated the fact that she's been trying to communicate to FIFA, but communication has not been coming the way she would like the flow to go. And then in the mid through the statement, she even gave the law, the specific law, the section 454 of the Sports Act that gives her the authority of what she did. So she was just giving FIFA the background of all that has happened and the fact that she's tried severally to communicate to FIFA. More so when the office was still there. She indicated in a paragraph where she said that she's been feeling that there's some sort of double allocations where FIFA or CAF pays for something and the government also pays for the same item. So she's given that thesis, and she wanted to have that background. What I really liked about her letter is that she was diplomatic. We know that she's a diplomat, and she came out so soft. But what gives me the hope is that FIFA also appreciates the fact that there's normalization. I think that is where we are heading to. Article 8, sub-article 2 of the FIFA status says very well that normalization is provided for within the framework of FIFA. So this is where we are heading to. And going into the way forward, I think time has come, and I'll echo Shitera's sentiments that conversations must begin. Conversations between FKF, that is Doris Petra, the current holder of that office, if that office exists, and the government should start negotiations. Time for chest thumping is over. Time for showing might is over. We should start our conversations within here, because once we make that conversation and we communicate to FIFA that all is well, then FIFA will readmit us. In fact, it can be done even in the next sitting that will be in the World Cup in Qatar. So the negotiations should start, and ultimately we'll move into FIFA. I think the two protagonists, that is the government and the federation, should start, and to a larger extent FIFA, start communicating. What I like about sports and football in particular, it's a game that enables and gives room for negotiation, and that's why you see football issues are never taken to criminal courts. That's why they're taken into sports tribunal. Now, as far as Kenya is concerned, all is not lost, guys. I think we're also alarmists, where I see guys saying Kenya has been banned. Kenya, we are not banned. We are suspended, and I think that's why we are going wrong. And that's why I started by explaining the difference between a suspension and a ban. My clarion call is, let's start the conversation. All is not lost. Between now and November, where the next sitting will be, we can start and make sure that by the time World Cup is coming, we will have at least done something. I think what the government wants is that the next election, whenever it will come, it must be done in accordance to the law of the country, because the Sports Act says very well that teams, there's a way they must have been registered, and there's a way they must conform with the laws of the country, and then ultimately we move into the elections.
All right. Well, of course, very interesting. We'll, sit and wait and see what happens and how this is eventually dealt with. But the